We are live. We are live. All right. Check it. I might as well understand the way I move. I wreck it. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? As you can see by my bald face, I've shaved. It's been a while since I've had a baby face like this, and it's still definitely different. Got to shout out the Stick Coalition after I exposed the North. I made a bet with one of my cohorts, and I lost the bet. I'm not going to tell you who I bet on because, I don't want them to feel bad for causing me to lose my face scarf. But at the same time, it's just one of those days where I feel like I had something to say, so I came online. Now, as you can see behind me, we are in Expose the North Studios. And as I Expose the North, I want to call a little bit of attention to why I call it Expose the North. You see, as long as I've known the entertainment business, there always seems to be a fascination with the American culture. And that's fine to an extent. But to know that we are losing ourselves for sake of trying to keep up with people who don't care is a little bit concerning. Now there's a lot that goes with that. I mean, they say, oh, there's more opportunities in America. There's also more people in America. So those opportunities really aren't as plentiful as they would be in Canada. There's way more land mass in Canada. So when you want, you can just find somewhere that isn't relatively close to everybody else and live there or do something there. Now, we have a stable currency, which, albeit is below America's, gets you a lot of bang for your buck if you actually shop correct. And I'm getting tired of hearing the whole, oh, well, America this and America that. Look what America's doing right now. And I'm not hating on America as a whole. I'm just talking about the American industry and the way it pilfers our Canadian talent. Pilfers, I said. There are people, very talented individuals who refuse to put anything out there because of the way they're being received by the general public. And I don't fault them. I don't fault them one bit. Because when you know you're doing something spectacular, you're not going to wait for someone to tell you it's spectacular. You're going to do it. Right? You're just going to do it. And you're going to make sure that it's done to a degree that individuals respect. 24 episodes of Candid Conversations. This is maybe one of 8 that hasn't had a guest, but I'm still here. We're talking about what's going on. Feel free to send me a message if I say anything that perks your ear, or if I say something that pisses you off. Just be respectful about it. I'm open to engage in conversation about a difference of opinions. I refuse to be berated because my opinion has offended somebody. If I mean to offend you, tough shit. But if I say something out of genuine sincerity and you get offended, then I'm willing to address that concern. I just had to take a drink of my beverage. Oh, it's so frappalicious. So, y'all didn't come on here to hear me breathe and pant. So what are we going to talk about? We have 5 shows, ladies and gentlemen. 5 shows that run on a regular basis, trying to get more of our Canadian content circulating. You know what I mean? The World Wide Web is just that, worldwide. So the more content you put up there, the more likely you are to be received in a good manner, depending on the type of content you put up there. Now, I want to talk about Daddy-Daughter Time. Daddy-Daughter Time is my Monday show, where I spend time conversing with my daughter about things that are going on in her life. Now, I want to make it perfectly clear that we have conversations like this outside of the podcast. This isn't the only time I talk to my daughter, but she wanted to do a podcast, and I co-signed on it because this is the place. That's the direction that the world is going in right now. They're going digital. There's a lot of people online making their mark, and I'm going to be one of those people who support my child in her endeavors, in their endeavors. If they believe they can build a robot that changes forms, then I'm going to be behind them waiting for that robot to change forms. You know what I mean? If they believe they can shoot an apple off of a tree 1,200 meters in the distance, well, I'm going to be there supporting them. If they believe they can animate clay, then I'm going to be there to watch that. You know why? Because we, as parents, we are supposed to support our children in their positive endeavors. And we are supposed to correct their misbehaviors so as to allow them a better understanding of a fruitful life. I want to say that again. We as parents are supposed to support our children's behaviors and creativity, lest it be something that is destructive to their person. Because that is our purpose. We are to provide, we are to protect, and whatever else comes along with the territory. It doesn't come with an instruction manual. I can tell you any number of things that work for my child that might not work for yours. That's why I don't speak on parents and their parenting. If I see a kid misbehaving, I might speak towards that child. But in today's society, you can't even talk to anybody too hard. You can't even talk to an adult too hard before they're calling the cops, let alone talking to a child in the absence of an adult. Because that could get you into some serious trouble. They could go home, oh, someone yelled at me. I was running in the road and I almost got hit by a car. It was somebody yelled at me. That kind of stuff doesn't fly. It doesn't float. It sinks. Then we got, well, it's happening tomorrow, but we got Tough Talks with Tilly and the Block. That's our combat sports podcast where we go over what's going on in the combat sports world, UFC, WWE, NXT, Bellator. If any news that's going on, we will discuss it. Then you have Candid Conversations, this show right here, where usually we have someone on here shooting the breeze with me about their life and what's going on in particular. I have guests coming out or slated to come out, but at the same time, life happens to everybody, so we just gotta live it. Hardline on Fridays is with Interp, and that's where we address the rap battle world, and we talk about letsbeef.com, the largest rap battle website in the world. That is a staple to those who understand what battle rap can be. It's also making some serious upgrades that allow you, one of the most recent upgrades, allows you to battle online anywhere in the world from your cellular device. You can battle from Arkansas to Zimbabwe, from Alabama to the Zulu Nation. Anywhere in the world that you can get a signal and a device that is compatible, you can battle online. And you can establish yourself as one of the top-ranked MCs globally based on the Let's Beef database. That's dope. Then we have another show on Saturday, the flagship show, the show that started it all, the Tyrell Effect. The Tyrell Effect basically highlights local talent varying from actors, comedians, singers, songwriters, you name it. We have them on the show. We give them their time to talk about themselves, let us into their world, and show us what's going on. This Saturday, we will have Gianna Grotto coming in. She is a comedian, and we will be chopping it up with her, going over, what made her decide on comedy, what it is that, keeps her going, the things that are happening, just life in general. So tune in this Saturday for Gianna Grotto. And, show some support. You know what I mean? I don't think I should have to ask for that, but I am going to because that's how humble I am. Oops. You can't be humble and call yourself humble. But no, seriously. I know a lot of you will take some time to watch this and be like, oh, he's talking again. My question is, if you're going to watch it to see that I'm talking, why not have a conversation? You know what I mean? Why not, instead of muttering under your breath and saying something ill about my person or something ill begotten about my person, not just have the conversation with me? I don't understand. Is it my size? Is it my stature? It can't be. Because I've been this size the whole time y'all been talking. And it hasn't stopped y'all from talking. But a lot of y'all ain't talking to me about me. And I find that hilarious. I find it to be remarkably funny when somebody has an issue with an individual and doesn't bring it to that individual specifically. It's amazing how often that happens. So, I just wanted to highlight a few of those shows that I do that'll allow you to tune into things that you might specifically enjoy. As the song goes, excuse me while I light my spliff. So, Grapes got fired. And you know what Grapes did? For those of you who don't know who Grapes is is the well-known name of Don Cherry. I don't know why they call him Grapes, but whatever. Well, I know why they call him Grapes, but still, Don Cherry, Grapes, get it? Cherry, Grapes? Anyways. And my man did something so legendary. He said, y'all don't want to give me my forum to speak on, so I'm going to get my own motherfucking forum, Grapevines. And he hosts it with his son and his grandson. Now, that's dope. Now, this might catch me into some heat, but I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to make a statement. People who make a habit of going to others' houses and telling them how to run their lives are part of the problem with this world. They say this again. People who overstep their boundaries and go into others' lives and tell them how to live it are part of the problem with this world. I say this. If my house is running fine, I don't need to know what's going on in your house. I don't need to be in a disposition because I'm in your house. I don't need to feel a ways because I'm there. I have my house running the way I want it to run. And there are people who might question the way I'm running my house. As long as our bills are paid, there's food in our cupboard, and we express respect towards each other, that's the fundamental principles of how this household functions. But when I start leaving my house to go to my neighbors and tell them how they should make their dinner, I'm overstepping my boundaries. I've had people come to my studio and tell me how they think I should run shit. If you knew how to run this shit, you'd have this shit. I'm not hating on anybody who has this shit and has come and told me what to do. But specifically, or in general, I'm not going to tell you how to drive your standard if I drive an automatic. I can't tell you how to stir fry your fries or French fry, or boil your fries. You see how cheese I'm getting? I can't tell you how to cook your fries if I don't make fries. We had fries for dinner today. We had poutine for dinner today. That's why fries are on my mind. But the fact remains that there are people who are crossing borders and boundaries in order to tell others what they think they should do, and they may not have their lives as well put together as they could. My life isn't perfect, ladies and gentlemen. I'm thankful I have this one piece of spliff light up and, give my thanks. You know what I mean? I give my thanks, and I just hold my corner. Now, when I leave my corner, it's because I feel like there's something I can offer the world, that I can offer to those who are in the world. And I do my best to present myself in a way that I expect to be received. said at the beginning of We Wildin', they still ain't listening, huh? We got some tracks that are going to be released coming up soon. I have It Is What It Seems, the track with yours truly and Jube Electron, coming to all streaming platforms relatively soon. I have the Similar Differences EP dropping soon. The Cheshire Black album will be coming, I want to say spring 2020. And that's my album where I take you on a ride. I show you some of my lyrical dexterity outside of my collaborations and, you know what I mean, what's going on there. I give you a little bit of, I don't even want to tell you what I'm giving you. You just go get a little bit of something. A little bit of everything. You know what I mean? I got some songs for you. Might have a couple skits on there. It all depends on how it flows. That's the thing about the creative process. It changes on a regular basis. Now, I want to talk to you guys about some serious business. And I know talking about it right now might not make the change that I know we can make, but I want to put it out there. Capital One needs to fucking go. Period. As an entity. That whole brand needs to be shut down unless their interest rates for their cards that are used, or their secured cards that are used by people in a disposition, drop by 10%. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I know that was gross. But it had to happen. Straight up. It's like this whole thing. How are you going to tell me you're going to charge me 29%? So I need to tell you, if I use $100, I owe you $129. What the fuck? Like, how am I gonna have a credit limit and then owe more than the credit limit? How are you gonna charge me for going over a limit when you set the limit? If you set a limit and you shouldn't be able to go over that limit for any reason because you set the limit. So don't go and try and charge a brother for going over a limit. Now a lot of these companies, and y'all got to watch out because these companies are getting smarter and smarter. There's companies who are advertising products that they are not retailing. And this is no new thing. But they're advertising products that they're not shipping. And then these credit card companies are letting them keep the money for extra time while they tell them about these discrepancies or discrepancies with their customers. These cohorts are in cahoots because they have to establish a relationship with the company in order to allow the transaction. So they already know what's going on. They already know what's going on. And they don't care. Now, if you don't care about me, why in the world should I be nice to you? I understand the bigger person would do that. But in all seriousness, how am I going to know you don't like me as a person and still try to do business with you? It doesn't make sense. If I know you don't like me as a person, you just want the money that I can bring to you. If you just want the money I can bring to you, you don't value me, you value my money. If you only value my money, what is the point of us associating? It only benefits you. We can't do that. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry. We cannot do that. If you understand that, you wouldn't be where you were unless we gave you what we did, then we can talk. But some of these businesses are acting as if we're their benefactor. That's not the case. They are our benefactor. They are benefiting from everything that we are doing. It takes zero time for the money to come off your card, but at least a week to put it back on there. These are problems that need to be spoken to. People say, well, you must not have that high credit limit. No, it's the principle of the matter. I can have $100 credit limit. You can have $100 credit limit, and if that's the credit limit I get, that's the credit limit I get. But if I can't spend more than $100, you shouldn't be able to spend more than $100 on that same thing. You shouldn't be able to allow $100 or $105 to go on that thing, and then charge me an extra $8. No. That's what I'm talking. We need to start teaching our kids how to do math and how to run the household and how to budget. From now, I'm all 35 years old and I'm still learning that stuff. You know what I mean? Excuse me. But if we start teaching our kids from young, they'll have advantages that we didn't. Even start learning ourselves. Give yourself a number. Look at how much you have. Look at how much you have coming in. This is how you do. This is how you make a budget. You look at how much you have coming in. Say you have $2,000 coming in. Then you write that at the top, and you subtract everything you have going out. So say your rent's all like a $500. There said nobody ever in this day. So we'll say your rent's like $800, and that's still on the low side. That's like a one-bedroom apartment kind of thing. So, right, you have $1,200 left, and then you have, say, $100 on electricity, and no, $50 on electricity. So that leaves you $1,150, and then $100 on gas because it's winter. So that leaves you with $1,050, right? Then your phone bill brings you down to $950. All right, you got to eat. Put like 2-3 bills in the fridge and the cupboards. You know what I mean? That gives you $650. All right, you have your insurance that you have to pay for your car. Oh, your car insurance is like, depending on how good your record is. So say it's like a $250, right? So that's all at 50. That's 650. So that's a $450. That's a $400 left. You have $400 left for, say, a whole month, because that's what it is sometimes. And you haven't put gas in your car yet to get to anywhere. You know what I mean? And you have unforeseen expenses that you have to account for. So if you're putting the customary 10% away, you know what I mean? That's $200. So you're left with $200. $200 for 30 days. I openly challenge any of these politicians to work on that. $2,000, 30 days, the 30-day challenge. Let's see how that works. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just trying to get a better understanding of how it is that people have to live in situations that others, quote unquote, above them wouldn't dare or wouldn't be able to endeavor. It's a crying shame. In other news, the winter tour begins. The pipe features Mario in some festive Santa duds. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Mario Kart has come to all platforms, all phones. Well, I don't know if it's all phones, but all the newer phones. I believe it's like 7 and above. That's madness. We went from sitting 2.5, 3 feet away from the television to holding a console in our hands. The concept of that is just unfathomable, except for the fact that I've experienced it. I see it. It happened. And It's like, what's next? I mean, shoot, the Hyundai Palisade, that car has cameras, I want to say everywhere. It basically, it basically basically has cameras everywhere. When you go to turn left on your dashboard where your meters and everything are, it will show you the curb side. It'll show you the side angle, and then you have all the view that you have to see. I mean, who thought of that? Crazy. I mean, you have a smart pad charging dock. You have 12 USBs or something like that in there. It's a brand new car, and I don't usually. I don't feel like I should fully. It's not like I'm endorsing them. I'm just talking about them. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm still waiting for a call back from one of them. So why do you, as a representative, leave your contact information for an individual to call you and then not call them back when they reach out to you? That's the kind of stuff that loses you sales. However, I'm enthralled by the vehicle itself, so I must continue to look into it further. It's brand new, so there's obviously going to be its faults, and with every technological advance, there is some kind of issue. But there are plenty of things that can go right if you pay attention to it. Yes, indeed. All right, we're probably going to do a bit of a shorter episode today because I'm talking to y'all, waiting for y'all to type some stuff. Some of y'all watching this after the fact, like, but you already said this, so are we still supposed to type to you? Type whenever you get to it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Candid Conversations. Send me a link to your content. Actually, send me your content. If you are an artist, musician, or talented in any other way, send us some of your content. Send us your comedy recordings. Send us your art. Send it to blockbasics@gmail.com. Pictures, content can be forwarded to blockbasics@gmail.com. That's BLOCKBASICS at gmail.com. At gmail.com. Send it to the gmail.com because the Hotmail doesn't accept as much as Gmail does. Man, that's just some stuff right there. That's some stuff right there. So we got the 5 shows. We got the Daddy-Daughter Time that's happening on Mondays. We got Tough Talks that's this week on Thursday. We have Candid Conversations, which will be on Wednesdays. And then we at 6. And then we got Hardline, which will be on Fridays. Jeez, I always get something messed up. On Fridays at 6:30. And then the Terrell Effect, which is at 12, pending pending any change. Oh, man. Yes, that is what's up. So, the fact that we as human beings are so capable, however, just makes it so I want to see better. Like, when you think of the things that we've done, I mean, like, athletic accomplishments or technological creations, I mean, artistic developments. Like, we have people up in space right now. You know what I mean? Like, why do we succumb to primal behaviors that are destructive? Why can we not channel our own capacities in a way that illustrates where we are, superior in ways that can be recognized and adulated? You don't necessarily need to have a problem every time you have a difference of opinion. It's a difference of opinion. People live different ways. People walk differently, different strides, different gaits. You know what I mean? It's not something that should create a problem. You know? Like, I've had people have raised issues over apparel. Like, come on now. Let's be serious. And it's what it says, but I mean, if I were to go by what everybody says or what everybody said or what everybody's doing or what everybody did, I gotta go by the people that are checking in on me and working with me and, you know what I mean, know my family and, you know what I mean, see me frequently and are willing to help me do what I need done. I mean, that's where I'm at. You gotta work with them, and I don't fault anybody for working with people who work with them in the proverbial and literal term. I have a problem with people dragging my name. I have an issue with falsified information being projected about my person. I have an issue with slander. I have an issue with a lot of misconceived notions about my person. I was asked a question, and the equivalent situation would have been as if the person planning my downfall wanted me to arm the people he's giving the equipment to fall me. Yes, I said it as such. And I'm being vague because I can be. But at the same time, I'm looking at the situation like, what is really good? How do you ask someone to do that? It's like asking someone to fall on their sword. And I'm juxtaposed because I'm so bloody nice that I'm inclined to do it, but at the same time, I don't have a justifiable reason why I should, except to be known as the nice guy that I am. And they say nice guys finish last. I guess I should be an ass. That being said, there is more on the way when it comes to what I have to say. Man, tune in on Saturday for sure. We're going to have an interesting show. I'm not sure how much music it's going to be, but it's definitely going to be some conversations. We're going to have some time to get to know Gianna and, you know what I mean, her endeavors, because, yeah, she's a strong woman going through some, and, like, it's some interesting stuff as well that's been happening. So, I mean, you just got to be careful because she's a little, I want to say she's blunt. She's blunt. And that's a good thing. I like when people can speak their mind freely without having to worry about another's opinions. I also appreciate when that free speech, however, comes with the monochrome of respect that is due to those who are listening. You're listening to Candid Conversations with the Block. Actually, see, that's the thing. I guess it would be with David Tyrell. Either way, same guy, different mentality. We got dogs barking next door and junk. That's a garbage I'm not just spitting on the floor. And, yeah. We got some fun stuff happening right now. Like, I mean, we got an exclusive project about to go down tomorrow. It's about to pop off. You know what I mean? All I'm going to say is beware of the Lunderstorm. Yeah. Oh, man. and the Fury of Bury. Oh, jeez. Oh, when the block comes to knocking, you know he brings the talking. Yes, indeed. So, as it is right now, you know what I mean? We have a project going on. December 2nd, I believe, is at the Vegan Hippie Chick is the next show. Got the workings of a band called Generation Gap. I like that name. I'm gonna check to see if anybody. Wifeinger, if you can hear this, can you let me know if the name Generation Gap is being used for anything like musically? Because I like that name. I'm kind of set on that name, unless that's the situation. So, yeah, that's about what it is. So, we have Daddy Daughter Time on Mondays. We got Tough Talks with Tilly and the Block. That's our floating show. We got Candid Conversations on Wednesdays at 6. We got Hardline on Fridays at 6:30. We got the Tyrell Effect on Saturdays at 12 p.m. 5 shows, 1 man, actually technically 3 men, but 5 shows, 3 men, 1 label. Explosive North. Yeah. All right, got to shout out to Choom Gang. You know what I mean? For doing their thing. Hopefully, all's well. You know what I mean? Things happen, man. Things happen in life that we don't prepare for that kind of interrupt what our plans are. You just got to learn how to deal with those things when they happen in order to be able to move forward to the next possible or palpable moment. These microphones are so good. I like them. I like the build. I like the design. I don't like the fact that they pick up as much static as they do, but I think because of the amount of technology that I have in here, that might be a part of the problem. But, yeah. Oh, yeah, check out Pug's playlist on letspeak.com/forums. That's 9 o'clock on Thursdays, I believe. And other shows that you can check out are The Viz Show on these shows are on 4680q.ca, 4680q.ca. The Viz Show is Sundays at 12 to 2 p.m. Indie Rocks is Thursday, 2 to 3 p.m. Doc P has Frequencies on Tuesday at 9 p.m. And Ryan and Jill, the lunch show, is on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Check those out. They are all definitely interesting personalities that you should get to know as they are stirring it up in the entertainment industry of the region of Niagara. I have like 3 videos that are going to be released in the soon coming weeks. Not my personal, videos I've edited, filmed and directed are going to be released soon. Don't let them get lost in the stream of podcasts because the Tyrell Effect is on the 154th podcast, which is just beyond anything I thought of it. I mean, I've had award winners on the show, Niagara Music Award winners on the show. I've had some of the top streaming artists in the region on the show. I just had a really painful feeling in my tooth that I had to deal with. But yeah, there's a lot that's going on right now. I mean, we're on the 24th episode of Candid Conversations. Shout outs to Private Music. PNPN, private name, private number. Check out that private PNPN Dre Bars mixtape on datpiff.com. Check out No Cosign. Check out private name, private number on all streaming platforms. Because the man's making moves. And you cannot deny the moves that are being made. What up, everybody who's just popping in now? I'm wondering if they're just not allowing you to pop in because of my stream or something. Oh no, I'm moving. Hey. Whoa. Yeah. I'm just waiting for the comments about my lack of beard. It's all good though. You know what I mean? Now the question is, how often do you shave now? Do I shave now that it's shaved off? Do I shave every time I get some sprouts coming through? Do I give it a week? Do I give it two? Really, I'm not sure what to do. But when you let it grow, you just let it grow on your face. You let it grow. Don't ask, okay? Don't ask. That must be the caffeine kicking in. Caffeine's kicking in, and I am on the go. Okay, just got a photo sent. Oh, so they did. Yeah. So the Toronto Maple Leafs just fired Mike Babcock. First of all, you must have had an interesting life growing up with your name being Babcock. Because I'm sure I'm not the only one that sees humor in the name Babcock. It's like Peacock. Either way. Contrary to popular belief, the colorful peacock is the male. The female is usually white or brown, I believe. Don't color. But yeah, the Maple Leafs fired Mike Babcock. He wasn't pulling in the wins. He wasn't, I don't know, maybe his coaching wasn't effective enough. He was here for like 4 or 5 years. I think. He was here for a few years anyways. And what did we win? We had top tier talent, but we weren't winning anything. We got to win. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is. Or establish a footing at least. Be consistent. Put in the effort. Do what is necessary to develop that craft that you know what I mean, you work so hard to be a part of. You can't just let things go because they don't turn out the way you want them to the first time. You got to just put that effort in. Getting the pasties, drinking my drink. Either way, yeah, it's about that time. And I'll make this rhyme because in the background you see a trans metal, Optimus Prime. As I've cleared my mind of some of these thoughts, I've realized there's a lot of reasons I have to talk. But as we play our part, staying sharp, effervescent in this art, stay focused and keep your mind sharp as you was launching the tip of a dart. Woo! Yeah, buddy. So, tune in tomorrow for Tough Talks with Tilly and the Block. That's going to be interesting. Going to have the show there. And then tune in on Friday for, that's right, Hardline with Interpret the Block. And then on Saturday we have You Were Paying Attention. That's good. We have the Tyrell Effect with Stress-Free Saturdays, Block Talks. This week we have Gianna on the show. You got ahead of me there. That's right. Daddy-daughter time is on Monday. And then we have again Candid Conversation. So that's 5 out of 7 days where I'm on the air. Or on this air. So for those of you wondering what I'm doing, here it is. All in parts of it is what I'm doing. I can't tell you everything. If I told you everything, I'd be on 24/7. I'd have one of those serious microphones. Even though I do have serious microphones. I meant the serious microphones. Yeah, buddy. Anyways, aspirations, dedication to a life of patience while waiting for the best that I can and making the rest part of the plan. Hey, y'all. Babcock got fired. So what else? Oh. YouTube. monetized YouTube has become such a cluster nugget that I'm not even going to talk about it now. But, yeah. I think that concludes this episode of Candid Conversations. It's okay to be you, as long as when given respect, respect is due. We're due. Look out for those videos on Block Basics Studios. That's Block Basics Studios. And, yeah, this is what I look like up close without a beard. Bang. Bless up. Block out.